Welcome back. You know, school districts across the state bring in experts to help them improve classroom performance. They send teachers to workshops for the same reason. So guess how much all this educational consultation costs? Think it's in the thousands? How about the hundreds of thousands? Well, since today's THV is launching Project A+ Arkansas, we decided to take a closer look at the price of education consultants. Of course, the costs will depend on the size of the district. So we crunched the numbers for the 3 biggest districts here in central Arkansas. Those numbers are from federal, state, and district funding, with the feds and state picking up most of the cost, but it's all tax dollars. All right, let's start with North Little Rock. The 2011-2012 school year, that district spent $1,196,000 on consultants for the classroom. Pulaski County Special School District, $1,472,000. Little Rock School District spent $1,771,000. The district spent that money on everything from workshops for teachers off-site to consultants coming to the schools to instructional materials, you know, for the classroom. Now, let's compare those costs to the typical cost of A+ training. Keep in mind, costs will vary depending on the size of the individual school. Each one goes through a 3-year training cycle. For the first year at a school with 20 to 30 teachers, the average cost is $25,000. Second year, it would be $19,000. Then around $17,000 for the final year. So, North Little Rock School District, with about 650 teachers, could put A+ into every school for about $550,000 their first year. That would be a savings over the current year's consultation costs of more than $646,000. Now, as the number of teachers increases, the cost would increase. All right, for PCSSD to put A+ in every school, it would cost around $1,075,000, which would still be a savings, are you ready, of nearly $400,000 based on the consultation fees they paid out this past school year. All right, here we go. For a Little Rock School District, the cost to train its 2,100 teachers would be around $1,750,000 the first year, a savings of $21,000 over that last school year. And the cost of A+ would decrease in years 2 and 3 as long as the number of teachers stays the same. Another point of interest, schools typically contract several educational consultants. For example, PCSSD has more than 2 dozen. Under A+, schools would stick with 1 consultant. So THV will begin tracking Rockefeller, Boone Park, and Pikeview over the next several years to see if this really works. Meantime, Arkansas education officials recently touted increasing test scores across the state. Education Week ranked Arkansas 5th in the nation in respect to education policy, but the state isn't claiming victory yet, with room to improve our standing. THV's education reporter Pam McCom looks at what the state is doing to increase standardized test scores, and she's learning while the Department of Education is issuing orders on what educators need to accomplish, they're leaving how to get it done up to each district.
In a commercial about our country's falling test scores, state leaders are selling a new curriculum called Common Core.
You have to ask yourself, if 50 states have different sets of standards, which ones are too high and which ones are too low?
The new common educational standards are supposed to improve student achievement and, in turn, test scores.
It's a deeper learning. It's students aren't just learning one thing and then moving on to the next thing.
But State Education Communications Director Seth Blomley says higher scores may take time.
Some test scores may actually go down a little bit.
Common Core won't be fully implemented until 2014. In the meantime, the state is pushing professional development.
Teachers are really the driving force behind student achievement.
Individual schools have found programs that work for them. Baker Elementary focuses on business and found 90% of students score proficient or above. Some charter schools have longer school days and school years and found test scores also improved. But Blomley says adopting some of these ideas on a state level isn't that easy.
Possibly if there's something that we can see that can be replicated on a statewide basis without an insurmountable cost, then sure, that's something we would definitely look at.
Blomley says the state still isn't sure if Common Core will improve test scores, but it's a start. In Little Rock, Pam McComb, today's THV.
Implementing Common Core will go in stages. This school year, Arkansas adopted standards for kindergarten to second grade. And again, the state provides the standards, but isn't giving clear direction how to accomplish them. That is up to the schools. And you can learn all about A+ Arkansas. Just log on to today'sTHV.com/A+. Now, let's send it over to Wes for what's coming up in sports.